Welcome back to Cooking with Marini Guess. Today we're going to make something near and dear to my heart, something very traditional probably for a lot of us, is because we all had like school lunches and stuff like that. And sometimes your mom didn't have time to make you dinner, so she had some hamburger meat and a can of Manwich, and you always were happy with the Sloppy Joe. So today I'm going to show you my version of Sloppy Joe. Simple and easy, but a little bit more healthy than the can, right? Kind of. But at least we put some fresh vegetables in it. So I'm gonna show you how I do my Sloppy Joe, take you back to your mama's house, to school, and let's see what you think about mine. First, what I'm gonna do is I put a little bit of oil in my cast iron pan, and then I cut up some celery, I cut up some carrots, some green onion, and 3 different kinds of bell peppers, because I like to put the fresh vegetables in there, because it just gives a little bit of something to it, right? It's not just ketchup and mustard, right? A lot of people do that. I like to make sure that we're gonna build the flavor, so it's like a lot bigger and a lot better than what it was out of the can. So I'm gonna start with the celery and onions, and all the bell peppers, and celery. Ooh, I already said celery. Double the celery then. So I used to make this for the schools when I used to feed charter schools. So we would cut up a ton of onions and celery and carrots. And you know what? I don't even think the kids knew that there were that many vegetables in there. And that's the fun part of this thing, is because you can cook it down so much that your kids won't even know there's that much vegetables. So they'll just be happy it's a Sloppy Joe, right? So we're gonna start with these, and we're gonna let them cook down till they're almost like the onions get pretty translucent and kind of just like get kind of soft. Then we're gonna put in our hamburger meat and we'll get it all browned off, okay? When we first started, right, we had a little cafe in the South Valley Economic Development Center, and we sold burritos. We used to have a few of the girls would go all over town and sell burritos. So we started selling them all over, and my daughter had started going to a school called Tierra Adentro. And when she started that school, she came home one day and she's like, "Mom, that chicken was so gross." She was just like, "It has like fat on it, like it was cold." And I was like, "Oh, that sucks." And I told my wife, I said, "I wonder how I could like start feeding the kids. How would you be able to feed kids?" And for some crazy shit reason, every time I open my face, shit happens. Like 2 weeks later, the school called us and said, "Hey, do you want to feed 50 kids for breakfast?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, that'll pay rent, that'll help us. I could feed my kid, make sure she's eating something good." So I put some kosher salt and a little bit of pepper. We're gonna throw in a little bit of fresh garlic. And you could already smell everything coming together, yeah. Oh my God, look at the color on that. It's so colorful. So we started feeding 50 kids. By the end of that year, they hit us up for another school, and the participation got so much for breakfast that they hit us up for lunch the next year. And then we ended up with 250 kids to 500 kids the next year, because we got another charter school. And then after that, 1,000 to 1,250 kids. Breakfast and lunch cooked from scratch for these kids. I would literally flip every one of their pancakes, every one of their French toast, dude, crack every one of their eggs. All right, while we're letting this cook down, I'm gonna show you how I make my sauce, okay? So we put ketchup, a little bit of mustard. You could use Dijon mustard, honey mustard. It just needs some kind of mustardy, like kind of add acid to it, something. Add the mustard to the ketchup. So we kind of put a little bit like that, mix it up, and you're gonna put everything that you're putting in here. So you're gonna put pepper, you're gonna put menudo mix, you're gonna put salt, whoops, not that one, and then some Worcestershire. Don't be stingy on the Worcestershire, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna give that beef an extra beefy flavor, okay? That's what's gonna make it like real good. Because you wanna have like a sweet and tangy sauce. If you remember right, it was like sweet, tangy, a little bit spicy, had a little bit of everything in it. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, because it's gonna give it the acid that it needs, right? So it'll give you that tanginess. And so, as you saw, I added a lot of brown sugar and I took some out. So put the brown sugar in for the sweetness, so it'll all incorporate with the tartness and all that good stuff, okay? So we're just gonna keep tasting and stirring for a little while.
What are some of the ways that you've heard Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire sauce? I've never heard it like that.
That's the first.
But I'm gonna start saying it. Worcester sauce. Worcester. My Worcester. My Worcester. It sounds like a fucking a horse. Worcestershire. It's Worcestershire. Worcestershire? Worcestershire. I think the more we say it, the more fucked up. Then we end up with Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Worcestershire? Worcester. Worcester. It's that brown stuff that you can't spell or say. So my vegetables are looking pretty soft. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add in the ground beef. This is about 2 pounds, okay? Right now, ground beef is out of control, kids. It's out of control. It's almost $4 and something a pound for ground beef right now. And that's not even like the perfection one. Because this right here is gonna have a lot of grease in it. Not even gonna lie. It's gonna have grease in it. It's gonna happen. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You just gotta take the grease out. It's just an extra part of the work. So basically what I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to show you how to cook something simple. You don't have to think about it so much and go too far into it. Cooking is actually really easy. You just have to really pay attention to what you're doing. That's like number one thing. And make sure you have all your ingredients together. Because if you have what you need, you're good to go. And if you open your fridge and you're like, I don't know what to make, you're able to make it. It's all about, you know, knowing how to fry, how to saute. It's just the simple things. All right, guys, we got all this meat browned and it smells so good in here. I just tasted a little piece of meat, so I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to it. Like I said, always taste, add, taste, add. That was the one thing I always learned, because you can't subtract, but you could always add, right? So we put some more salt in there. We drained out a little bit of the fat, and actually that meat didn't have that much fat. I was pretty surprised. I also put a secret ingredient, liquid smoke, just because I want to give it a little bit of smokiness. And sometimes if you don't have a smoker, you're not able to do it. And if you just want to have that more richness, more beefy flavor, you want to throw a little smoke inside your sauce. So it's kind of like a barbecue sauce almost, right? That's kind of what we're making. So about right here, we look ready to add it. You can see it has everything in there. Oh my God. You want to get every bit of this, right? You want to get every bit of this because it's gonna taste so good. You see that glistening of that red? Tell me that doesn't look like a Manwich out of that can, but better. It does. It's the same consistency, it's the same everything. So the way I think they made sloppy joes back in the day was cleaning out your refrigerator. I think somebody had 1 bell pepper, 1 onion, some hamburger meat, and some ketchup. I guess, I don't know. I think that's like one of those things that's all random things that you wouldn't think about using, right? You wouldn't think about using bell peppers and hamburger meat and ketchup and mustard. Like, who thinks of stuff like this? But whoever did is a genius. All right, guys, we're ready to assemble these bad boys. So you could make like a big Manwich, or God damn it, I gotta say Manwich. A sloppy Joe. Can I say sloppy Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. So sloppy Joe, you can make sliders. Like right now we're gonna make some sliders because honestly they make you so full, huh? So this one has like the little buns, like, you know, like the little Hawaiian buns that everybody loves. So we're gonna put some on that one. And then I got some dope rolls. So for some bigger ones, there's nothing wrong with some big buns. Huns. Man, these are gonna be fire. Your kids will like them. Your wife will like them. Your husband will like them. I think everybody will like them. Make yourself some. Like I said, this is one of my mom's favorite things. She used to love a sloppy Joe. And who does it? It brings you back. Takes you back memories. Throw a pickle right next to them. Can't go wrong. Sloppy Joe heaven. Takes you back. Makes you feel good inside. Makes you remember where you come from. right? You remember the things you used to eat, and maybe share some of this stuff with your kids, man, or your grandkids. Because I know when I show my grandson things that I used to eat when I was little, he loves them just as much as I do. So just have a good time cooking with your family, do your thing, cook from scratch. This is like a 30-minute meal if your oven is hotter than mine. So just have fun though and do your thing. Go back in your memories. Think of the things that you used to like to eat. It's a big deal, and honestly, it'll make you feel good inside your soul. But anyways, follow us, subscribe, check out some more of my crazy recipes for Sloppy Joes, chicken fried chickens, and all that stuff. And anything else. If you have anything you think I should make, let me know, because I know somebody wants my green chili chicken sauce. So we'll try to work it out. Thank you so much again. Cooking with Marinigas. Talk to you later. That's it in Spanish. Worcestershire. That's more like German or some shit. Yes. Worcestershire?
Roll it.
Worcestershire?
That's it.
Boom!